The one exercise that comes highly recommended to seniors is walking. But when it comes to beating sarcopenia and building muscle as a senior who is 60 years old and above, the number one thing that can help you build muscle is adding these two specific exercises to your routine. And here's why. For your muscles to grow, it first has to go through some tear and recovery. The only way your muscles can tear is when you stretch it and then have good rest so it can recover, expand, and build. When you walk 10,000 steps a day, you only exercise the heart. You do what we call cardiovascular exercise, and you do not stretch any muscles at all. As such, no muscle tear happens. A lot of seniors do not know this, and being 60 years old and above means you get to lose 3 to 4% of muscle mass every year. You can see why you are not able to build any muscle at all at your age. But not to worry, because in this video, I'll be telling you 2 very effective exercises that are better than walking and can be done at home. These exercises are so effective that they are very popular among the Japanese. If you did not know, the people of Japan are popular for how long they live. A lot of them living healthily and fit into 150 years and more. I will tell you the easiest one first, because you just need 5 to 20 minutes for this exercise, and then I will tell you the best one last. I will also tell you 3 exercises that you are doing now that could leave you paralyzed or bedridden fast if you don't stop. If you haven't subscribed to Senior Food Blog yet, do so right away. Let us start. Exercise 1, Japanese interval walking. I know what you're thinking. Hold that thought for a second. I know that I just mentioned that I'll be talking about exercises that are better than walking, so why am I still mentioning walking? Well, this one is very different. The Japanese interval walking exercise uses a very different but highly effective walking technique. Let me explain. Unlike regular walking, where you maintain a steady, moderate pace throughout your entire walk, Japanese interval walking alternates between periods of fast-paced, vigorous walking and slower, recovery walking. During the fast intervals, you're pushing yourself to about 70 to 80% of your maximum effort, walking as briskly as you can while still maintaining good form. This intense burst lasts for about 3 minutes. Then you slow down to a comfortable, easy pace for another 3 minutes to recover. You repeat this cycle throughout your walking session. This alternating pattern does something remarkable. It actually creates muscle fatigue and micro tears in your leg muscles, particularly in your quadriceps, hamstrings, calves, and glutes, which regular walking simply cannot achieve. When you walk at a steady pace for 10,000 steps, your muscles work at only about 40 to 50% of their capacity. Your heart rate stays relatively stable, and while this is excellent for cardiovascular health, your muscles never experience enough stress to trigger growth. The Japanese interval walking method, however, pushes your muscles to 70 to 80% of their maximum capacity during the fast intervals, creating the necessary stimulus for muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to repair and build stronger, larger muscles. Most seniors spend 60 to 90 minutes walking to reach their 10,000 steps goal. With Japanese interval walking, you only need 20 to 30 minutes to achieve significantly better results. That's right. You can cut your exercise time in half or even by 2/3 and still build more muscle than you would with hours of regular walking. Here's something shocking that most seniors don't know about the Japanese interval walking exercise. It can increase your muscle mass by up to 10 to 15% in just 5 months, while regular walking at a steady pace typically results in little to no muscle gain at all. In fact, research has shown that participants who practiced interval walking for just 20 minutes a day, 4 days a week, experienced a 13% increase in thigh muscle strength and a 10% improvement in muscle power compared to those who did regular continuous walking for the same duration. The study also found that interval walkers had better balance, reduced their risk of falls by 30%, and showed significant improvements in their to perform daily activities like climbing stairs and getting up from a chair. The Japanese interval walking method was developed in the early 2000s by researchers studying the health and longevity of Japanese seniors. Japan has one of the highest life expectancies in the world, with many people living well into their 90s and maintaining independence throughout their senior years. Researchers noticed that many active Japanese seniors didn't just walk, They walked with purpose and varied intensity, often adapting their pace to the terrain of their hilly neighborhoods. This observation led to systematic studies on interval walking, which revealed its profound benefits for maintaining muscle mass and functional fitness in older adults. The technique was refined and popularized as a simple, yet powerful way to combat age-related muscle loss without requiring gym equipment or complex routines. Now, let me walk you through exactly how to do the Japanese interval walking exercise properly. First, start with a 5-minute warm-up walk at an easy, comfortable pace to get your blood flowing and prepare your muscles. After your warm-up, begin your first fast interval. Increase your pace significantly. You should be walking fast enough that you're breathing harder and can still talk, but in shorter sentences. Pump your arms vigorously at your sides, keep your back straight, and take purposeful, brisk steps. Maintain this challenging pace for 3 minutes. You should feel like you're working hard, but not so hard that you can't sustain it for the full 3 minutes. After 3 minutes of fast walking, slow down to an easy, comfortable pace for your recovery interval. Walk slowly for 3 minutes, allowing your breathing to return to normal and giving your muscles a chance to recover. This is your rest period, so don't rush it. Once your 3-minute recovery is complete, speed up again for another 3-minute fast interval. Continue alternating between 3 minutes fast and 3 minutes slow for a total of 20 to 30 minutes. If you're just starting out, aim for 3 to 5 cycles, which would be about 18 to 30 minutes total. As you get stronger over the weeks, you can gradually add more cycles. Finally, end your session with a 5-minute cool-down walk at an easy pace to help your heart rate gradually return to normal and prevent muscle stiffness. Remember, I told you when we started that there are exercises you are currently doing that are bad for you. I'll be revealing them later in this video, but if you are planning to only rely on the Japanese walking interval exercise to build muscle, you still won't build any muscles except you combine it with the next Japanese exercise I want to talk about. And here's why. Even though the JIW exercise is a lot better than regular walking, it still is not very effective in causing good fiber tears in your muscles. And that is why the next exercise is very important. Combining the next exercise with the JIW exercise creates the perfect muscle building routine. Exercise 2, Reiho training, slow controlled sit to stand and squat movement. Let me tell you about Reiho training, the slow controlled sit to stand and squat movement. While walking, even interval walking, primarily works your muscles through repetitive, low-resistance movements. Reiho training forces your muscles to work against your full body weight in a controlled, deliberate manner. This creates significantly more tension and stress on your muscle fibers, which is exactly what you need to trigger real muscle growth. When you perform these slow, controlled movements, you're keeping your muscles under tension for extended periods, sometimes 30 to 60 seconds per repetition. This time under tension is the key difference. Your muscle fibers have to work continuously to support and move your body weight, creating the deep, micro tears that are essential for muscle repair and growth. Walking simply cannot provide this level of sustained muscular stress. Reiho training specifically targets your quadriceps, the large muscles on the front of your thighs, your glutes or buttocks muscles, your hamstrings at the back of your thighs, and your core stabilizing muscles. These are collectively known as your locomotive muscles, the muscles responsible for movement and mobility. For seniors, these muscle groups are absolutely critical for longevity and independence. Strong leg and core muscles allow you to get up from chairs without assistance, climb stairs safely, maintain your balance to prevent falls, and carry out everyday activities like shopping, gardening, and playing with grandchildren. Research has consistently shown that seniors with stronger lower body muscles live longer, have fewer hospitalizations, and maintain their independence well into their 80s and 90s. When these muscles weaken, seniors become more dependent on others, face higher risks of falls and fractures, and often experience a rapid decline in overall health. For seniors battling sarcopenia, Reiho training is particularly important because it directly combats the primary problem, muscle loss in the legs and core. Sarcopenia doesn't affect all muscles equally. it hits your lower body the hardest. By age 70, you can lose up to 40% of your leg muscle mass if you don't actively work to preserve it. Reiho training puts direct, focused stress on these vulnerable muscles, forcing them to adapt and grow stronger. Unlike walking, which maintains existing muscle at best, Reiho training can actually reverse muscle loss and add new muscle tissue, even in your 70s and 80s. Here's something shocking that most seniors don't know about Reiho training. Performing just 10 to 15 slow, controlled sit-to-stand movements 3 times a week can increase your leg muscle mass by up to 20% in 6 months. That's more muscle growth than most seniors achieve in years of regular walking. Research has demonstrated that seniors who practiced Reiho-style slow resistance training experienced a 25% increase in lower body strength, a 30% improvement in balance and stability, and a remarkable 40% reduction in fall risk within just 4 months. The study also found that participants gained an average of 1.2 kilograms of lean muscle mass in their legs, while those who only walked showed virtually no muscle gain at all. The people of Japan have long understood the importance of controlled, mindful movement for maintaining health in old age. Reiho, which translates to respectful movement or courteous exercise, has its roots in traditional Japanese martial arts and tea ceremony practices, where slow, deliberate, controlled movements are emphasized. Japanese seniors have been incorporating variations of these movements into their daily routines for generations, often performing them naturally as part of their household activities. The formalization of Reiho training as a specific exercise for seniors came about when researchers studying Japan's remarkably healthy elderly population noticed that those who regularly practiced slow, controlled sitting and standing movements maintained significantly better muscle mass and mobility than their peers. This led to the development of structured Reiho training programs specifically designed to help seniors combat sarcopenia and maintain independence. Now let me guide you through exactly how to perform Reiho training properly. You'll need a sturdy chair without arms, placed against a wall for safety if needed. Start by sitting in the chair with your feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart, and your knees bent at about 90 degrees. Place your hands either across your chest, on your thighs, or extended in front of you for balance, whichever feels most comfortable and stable. This is your starting position. Now begin to stand up. But here's the crucial part. Do it as slowly as you possibly can. Take a full 5 to 7 seconds to rise from the chair. Lean slightly forward from your hips, push through your heels, and engage your thigh and buttock muscles to lift your body. Focus on keeping the movement smooth and controlled. No jerking or using momentum. Feel your muscles working throughout the entire movement. Once you're fully standing, pause for a moment, standing tall with your shoulders back. Now comes the second part, sitting back down. This is actually more important than standing up because lowering your body weight slowly creates even more muscle tension. Take another 5 to 7 seconds to lower yourself back into the chair. Keep your back straight, bend at your hips and knees, and control your descent all the way down until you gently touch the chair. Don't just drop into the seat. Resist gravity throughout the entire downward movement. Your muscles should be burning slightly by the time you sit down, and that's exactly what you want. That's one complete repetition. Rest for 10 to 15 seconds while seated, then repeat the movement. Start with 5 to 8 repetitions for your first set. As you get stronger over the weeks, gradually work up to 10 to 15 repetitions per set. Aim to perform 2 to 3 sets, with 2 to 3 minutes of rest between sets. You should do this exercise 3 times per week, with at least 1 day of rest between sessions to allow your muscles to recover and grow. If you find the sit-to-stand movement too challenging at first, you can start with a higher chair or cushion to reduce the range of motion, then gradually lower the height as you build strength. For an advanced variation, once you've mastered the basic movement, you can add a squat at the top. After standing up, instead of immediately sitting back down, lower yourself into a partial squat position, as if you're about to sit in a chair that's not there. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds, stand back up, and then perform your slow, controlled sit back into the chair. This advanced version adds even more time under tension and accelerates muscle growth. However, these exercises will do no good for your muscle building goals if you're still doing the next 3 exercises I'm about to reveal. The last one is extremely common, and I'm almost certain you performed it this past week. After guiding thousands of seniors through muscle loss recovery, analyzing numerous exercise studies, and working alongside top experts in age-related fitness, I've discovered 3 particularly harmful exercises that older adults must stop immediately. These exercises involve high-impact movements that destroy your knees, ankles, and hips, joints already weakened by decades of use. And they are risky exercises that cause dangerous spinal flexion that strains your lower back muscles. If you've been doing either of these, stop now before permanent damage occurs. Number 1. High-speed running and high-intensity jumping. This is probably your favorite influencer's exercise recommendation: to run at high speeds on the treadmill or jump with ropes for long intervals. But here's something no one is ready or willing to tell you. When you're over 60, your joints have already endured decades of use, and the cartilage that cushions your knees, ankles, and hips has naturally thinned. High-impact exercises like sprinting and jump rope force these worn joints to absorb shock equal to 3 to 4 times your body weight with every single impact. This repetitive pounding doesn't stimulate muscle growth at all. Instead, it accelerates cartilage breakdown, inflames existing arthritis, and increases your risk of stress fractures, especially if you have any degree of bone density loss. The real problem is that running and jumping are primarily cardiovascular exercises that burn calories and stress your heart, but they provide almost zero resistance training stimulus needed to build muscle tissue. Your muscles need sustained tension and controlled resistance to grow, not rapid, repetitive impacts. All you're doing is wearing down your joints while getting none of the muscle-building benefits you actually need. Research examining the effects of high-impact exercise on older adults found that seniors who engaged in regular high-speed running and jumping activities experienced a 45% higher rate of joint injuries compared to those who performed low-impact resistance training. The study also revealed that participants over 60 who focused on high-impact cardio showed virtually no increase in muscle mass over a 6-month period, while simultaneously reporting increased joint pain and reduced mobility in 62% of cases. The biggest mistake seniors make with this exercise is thinking that because it makes them tired and sweaty, it must be building muscle. They confuse exhaustion with effectiveness. They push through joint pain, believing no pain, no gain, when that pain is actually their body warning them of damage. Many continue these exercises for months or even years, wondering why they're losing muscle mass despite working out regularly. Here's how this exercise progressively destroys your health. It starts with mild joint discomfort after workouts, which you might dismiss as normal soreness. Then the pain persists longer, becoming chronic inflammation in your knees, hips, or ankles. Your cartilage continues deteriorating with each impact until you develop severe arthritis. Eventually, the joint damage becomes so extensive that you struggle to walk without pain, climb stairs, or even stand for long periods. What began as an attempt to stay fit ends with reduced mobility, dependence on pain medications, and in severe cases, the need for joint replacement surgery or complete loss of independence. Number 2. Deep forward bends or toe touches with bouncing movements. You've probably done this stretch 1,000 times, standing straight, then bending down to touch your toes, maybe even bouncing to reach further. It seems harmless, even healthy. But let me tell you what's really happening to your body when you do this. As you age, the discs between your vertebrae lose moisture and become less cushioned, making your spine more vulnerable to injury. When you bend forward deeply, especially with a rounded back, you're forcing your spine into extreme flexion, a position that puts enormous pressure on these already fragile discs. The bouncing motion makes it exponentially worse because it adds momentum and force, potentially causing the disc material to bulge or even herniate. Here's what most seniors don't realize. This exercise doesn't build any muscle whatsoever. It's a flexibility exercise, and a dangerous one at that. Your hamstrings naturally tighten with age, and when they're tight, bending forward forces your lower back to compensate by rounding excessively. This transfers all the stress from your leg muscles, where it should be, directly onto your vulnerable spine and lower back muscles. You're essentially creating the perfect conditions for a serious back injury while gaining zero muscle building benefit. Research analyzing spinal injuries in older adults found that those who regularly performed deep forward bending exercises experienced spinal disc problems at a rate 58% higher than seniors who avoided such movements. The study further showed that 71% of participants over 65 who practiced ballistic stretching, the bouncing type of stretching, reported new or worsened lower back pain within 3 months, and 34% suffered acute back injuries requiring medical intervention. The critical mistake seniors make with this exercise is believing that touching their toes proves they're flexible and healthy. They see younger people doing it effortlessly and think they should be able to as well, so they push harder, bounce more, and ignore the warning signals their body sends. They convince themselves that the tightness and discomfort they feel is something to stretch through rather than a protective mechanism. Here's the devastating progression this exercise triggers. Initially, you might feel a pulling sensation in your lower back during the stretch, which you dismiss as normal. Over the following weeks, that area becomes increasingly stiff and achy, especially in the morning. The repeated forward flexion begins causing tiny tears in the outer layers of your spinal discs. One day, during what seems like a routine stretch, you feel a sharp, stabbing pain. A disc has herniated or a muscle has severely strained. Suddenly you can't bend, lift anything, or even sit comfortably. The injury forces you to stop all physical activity, and during this period of inactivity, you lose the muscle mass you've been working so hard to maintain. Chronic back pain becomes your constant companion, limiting your ability to perform daily tasks. Simple activities like putting on shoes, getting in and out of the car, or picking up grandchildren become impossible, robbing you of your independence and quality of life. If you are serious about building muscles and avoiding injury, eliminate these exercises from your routine immediately. Which of these have you been doing? Are you ready to start practicing Japanese interval walking and Reiho training to help you build real muscle? Now, to wrap up, here's the truth about muscle building that no one talks about. Exercise alone will not build muscles for you. Muscle building is 80% what you eat and 20% the exercises you do. You can perform perfect Japanese interval walking and flawless Reiho training every single day, but if you're not feeding your muscles the protein they need to repair and grow, you're wasting your time. Which is why I've prepared something very special for you. I've created a complete high-protein meal plan specifically designed for seniors building muscle and fighting sarcopenia. This isn't some generic diet plan. These are 93 plus delicious, easy-to-prepare, high-protein recipes that fuel muscle growth at any age. Every recipe is calculated to give you exactly what your muscles need to recover and expand after exercise. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, all optimized for muscle building. If you're serious about beating sarcopenia and reclaiming your strength, you need this meal plan. Click the link in the pinned comment below or check the description box right now to get instant access to all 93 plus recipes. And here's something else. Tomorrow, I'm dropping a video that reveals the #1 supplement that 90% of seniors are deficient in, the deficiency that's secretly preventing your muscles from growing, no matter how much you exercise or how much protein you eat. This information could change everything for you. But here's the thing. Only my subscribers will get notified the moment that video goes live. If you're not subscribed, you'll miss it. So hit that subscribe button right now, tap the notification bell, and make sure you're ready for tomorrow. Don't let this opportunity slip away. Now go do those 2 exercises, fuel your body right, and watch your strength come back. I'll see you tomorrow. Senior Food Blog.